Hola, I am back yet again with another video into your sub boxes. This one might be a little bit late. I hope it's okay. Basically what I'm doing today is Premier League predictions. I've done some football videos in the past, you know, on Champions League and whatever. And today I thought I'd do my Premier League predictions. The first match day is underway. I'm going to try and not let the results impact my decision. I don't think I have. I have my table here. You're going to be seeing them on screen hopefully now. I should be doing some nice little graphics for you. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be any good or not. You know, I haven't designed them yet. But I've got a notepad on my computer just with where they are, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm also going to go through some of the squads to help you better understand my reasons for making some of these choices. So without further ado, let's hurry up and get this on the way because this video is currently 3 minutes long. I've only done the intro. So in 20th, I'm going to be going for Fulham. As we can see, their squad is going to be up on the screen now. So in nets, Alfonso Areola. To be fair, on loan, that's a great sign. He's a good keeper, but overall, I just don't think they've made too many good signs. Like there's this Ola Aina guy, who I think must be from the Chelsea academy. I've never heard of him. They've got Jean-Michel Seri still, who flopped in the Premier League last time he was here, and I haven't heard much about him from when he was in the Championship. Mario Lemina, again, has played in the Premier League, so he does have Premier League experience, but I don't think he really featured for Southampton. They've also got Kamara, and I mean, speaks for himself really, doesn't he? So I think they are going to be rock bottom. We then go one up into the 19th position, where I think West Bromwich Albion are going to be finishing. You know, they've got Adji at the back, who had a decent season. Kieran Gibbs, obviously very experienced Premier League player now. Matt Phillips, obviously Premier League experience, he's a decent player as well. This Diangana guy, I don't really know if I'm saying that right, but obviously coming from the West Ham Academy, they were very upset to be losing him. Matheus Pereira, good player as well, but I just don't feel like West Brom have signed enough, really, to fully make a change to their team. You know, they've got some nice players, some tidy players here and there who are going to help them be a bit more secure, but overall I just don't think they have enough to compete with some of the other teams that I've had to put above them. And too warm. God. This isn't an indication as to who I think's coming next, by the way, but yeah, I'm repping the United top. Okay, then we move into 18th place, and I think this is a strange one. I've gone for West Ham. I did originally have Brighton, but if we go and take a look at West Ham's team now, as we can see here, this is West Ham team. You know, they've got Lucas Fabianski, who I think is a good keeper, but I look at their defence in comparison to Brighton's. They've got Ogbonna, Brighton have Ben White. They've got Issa Diop, Brighton have Lewis Dunk. Felipe Anderson, alright, you know, he's a good player on his day, but it's finding his day. Declan Rice, fantastic player, but if he goes out, they could be looking to fall down even below West Brom. I just think there's so many holes in this West Ham team, and if they lose Declan Rice, I can't see any way that they'd have any chance of staying up, if I'm being 100% honest. We then move to the Brighton and Hove Albion team, who I do think do have enough to just about stay in the Premier League. You know, they've got Matt Ryan in nets, a great experienced Premier League keeper now. They've got Ben White, as I was talking about, Lewis Dunk, Lamptey, some great players. I really do rate Lamptey, and I can't stress that enough. Adam Lallana coming from Liverpool, you know, he's a Premier League champion, technically. So I just think they have just enough edge in order to maintain their place in the Premier League, which they've done for so many years now, despite going against all the odds. And we move on to Aston Villa, the team that think Jack Grealish is worth 80 million Great British pounds in today's modern market, even though Manchester United can go abroad to Donny van de Beek to get him for half the price to get double the player. Probably not, but you know, as a player similar level. Jack Grealish is obviously fantastic, but 80 million, I mean, come on. And I did have Villa to go down a couple of days ago, but then I started making some signings. I'm saying Matthew Cash, Ollie Watkins, there's always one. Emiliano Martinez, the Arsenal keeper who had such a good post-lockdown performance rate. And I just think as well, to keep Jack Grealish in this team, he'll be creating chances for the likes of Samada, Ollie Watkins up front, maybe Wesley, Keenan Davis if they play. I think they'll do enough to stay up quite comfortably. And slightly getting the edge on Aston Villa, I think Crystal Palace will finish 16th. Definitely not. I've definitely planned this video. You know, with the likes of Guaita, Vincent Guaita, their Spanish goalkeeper, fantastic performances all around last season. He's a fantastic keeper and probably a good one for the FPL fantasy managers of you out there. With Van Aanholt in the team as well, someone who I think is a fantastic left back who I would take at United along with Reguilon. If you could sign the money, that would be excellent. And then obviously they brought in Eberechi Eze. Now this guy played today and I didn't want to base too much off performances today, but he was fantastic against Southampton as they won, so I definitely think they have enough to comfortably stay in the Premier League for another season. In 14th I've gone for Burnley. Obviously with Nick Pope in nets, you know, he had such a good season last year, so close to the Golden Glove, and with Bailey Peacock-Farrell backing him up, you know, the Northern Ireland keeper who conceded 5 to Norway. They've obviously got the back two partnership with Tarkowski and Ben Mee, which just provides so much solidity in that Burnley team. And then they've got their outlets of Jay Rodriguez, Dwight McNeil, they've got Ashley Barnes, Chris Wood as their two main strikers. They do well every year, even though they have one of the most boring styles of football, but it works, and I'm going to predict that they finish 14th. Next up, we've got the Mighty Blades. No longer did they have Dean Henderson, they're actually having to go for, what's his first name? Aaron Ramsdale, the guy who got relegated with Bournemouth. It's going to bode well for them. Nah, but on a real, they have a much better defence than that Bournemouth team. Than that Bournemouth team did, you know, with Baldock, Edinda Stevens, Basham, Egan, Jagielka, but they brought in Ampadu, I think, on loan. Fantastic signing on loan. He's a great young player who provided so much stability for Leipzig in the Champions League, and now he's come across to Sheffield United, and I just think they're going to do really well with him. And Lys Mousset, who scored against, you know who they are. I think they were wearing this kit as well, actually. We move into 12th now, and I've got Southampton. I don't really know who gassed these geezers at the end of last year, but they had such a good run of form that I could not put them this high. With Alex McCarthy in there too, such a good shot stopper, and bringing in Mohamed Salisu, if we find him somewhere here. Mohamed Salisu and Kyle Walker-Peters additions. Well, Kyle Walker-Peters obviously been made permanent, but bringing in Mohamed Salisu is someone United were linked with that I was relatively happy to be linked with, if I'm being honest. Oh look, that guy's called Jake. Ward-Prowse I rate so highly. I think he's such an amazing footballer. Danny Ings obviously close to the Golden Boot last year. I just think they're going to do quite well this year as well. Not quite get mid-table, but get close to it. Next up, as much as it pains me to say it, in 11th I think will be Leeds United. How have they managed to do this? Bringing in Rodrigo up front is just someone who I think is going to score a lot of goals for them, as well as Patrick Bamford. Somehow is one of their best strikers. They've got the likes of Ayling, who played very well today, I thought, against Liverpool. Robin Koch, Carful, and as well as Stuart Dallas, one of the best fullbacks the game's ever seen. Nah, but on a real, I do think they will finish 18th. Am I done? 11th. But will they win against United? And I know what you're thinking, who's 10th? Nah, you've definitely clicked off by now because my view duration only goes up to about 3 minutes and I'm currently 19 minutes in, so I'm probably going to have to speed this up. I'm going Newcastle in 10th because they've signed Callum Wilson, Ryan Fraser, Jamal Lewis, the best left back in the world, and I think they're going to do well with Dubravka in nets as well as Fabian Schär. Now I'm talking quickly, so you probably don't know what I'm saying, but I think they'll come 10th, even though they've got so close. Even though they've got Steve Bruce as the manager. And finishing 9th I think will be Leicester City. You know, Brendan Rodgers, talking about character again, the man from Northern Ireland. I do wish him the best, although it's not going. It went terribly for him post like February last year, losing so many games, giving up a 14-point gap too. Yeah, you know who it was. And even though I love Johnny Evans at the back, thank you so much for getting a red card in that game against United that allowed us to secure being the top 3 teams in the country. They do have a great team, although I just think the lack of form, they're just going to slowly dip down, and I think they're going to finish 9th. In 8th, I think will be Wolverhampton Wanderers, another great team, very well coached, very well drilled. You know, they've got their game plan. Adama Traore is such a good player, same with Raul Jimenez and Diogo Jota. Ruben Neves in midfield as well. They also made the signing of Football Manager legend Fabio Silva. The only problem is they lost Doherty, and I think that's where a lot of their goals and defensive stability did come from. So I think Wolves will finish 8th. And then securing European football, I think 7th, do that? Or something like that. European football for Everton, I think Everton will finish 7th is what I'm trying to say here. You know, they've obviously got a great team, fantastic manager, Carlo Ancelotti, so much experience. I think there's only so far you can get with Everton though, realistically. And with the signings of Doucouré, Allen, James Rodriguez into that midfield, it just changes the entire scenery. And with already having Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Digne, they have a great team now. And I think they are just going to miss out in the top 6 places. We then move on to 6th place and just getting Europa League in the exact same position that they finished last season. I think will be Spurs. I think Jose Mourinho is pretty much done as a manager, being able to get top 4. Spurs have made some good signings. You know, they got Højbjerg, Doherty, probably some other people that I'm forgetting. They've already signed Bergwijn, who's a great player. But I think they just won't be able to push as far because I think the 5 teams above them have just strengthened so much, where Spurs just haven't strengthened as much as these other teams. Now 5th and 4th I think is going to be very close and it's going to be very dependent on the rest of the league or the rest of the transfer market, if I'm being honest. In 5th I've gone for Arsenal. You know, Arteta ball's in full flow now. They played fantastically against Liverpool in the Community Shield. They won the FA Cup. You know, they're making some good signings. They've now got defensive solidity, which was the main reason Arsenal lost so many games last season, and I think with that being fixed, they're definitely going to be pushing for top 4, and it's going to be very close between the top 5 teams just throughout the year, I think. We then move into 4th place, and I've gone for Chelsea. After spending 300 million of Abramovich's oil money that's been stored in his back pocket for a couple of seasons now, they've splashed the cash. They've got Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, who else? Loads, Chilwell. They've got that keeper who made 6 errors leading the goal last season. I just think they've done too much. You know, it's going to take a while for that team to gel together. I think next season they're probably going to be pushing for the title. But as for this season, I think they're going to just about scrape top 4. But as I said, if Arsenal get party and Chelsea can't click, Chelsea could fall out and Arsenal could push in. How embarrassing would that be, making all those signings and then not getting Champions League football? And then 3rd, I've gone for the boys. I've gone for Manchester United. Have I? Yeah, I have. Just checking. I didn't want to be biased and put them 2nd because I know what YouTube's like, even though not many people see these, unfortunately. I do think Man United will come 3rd as well as Bruno. You know, we've got Van de Beek coming in, which is either going to be good backup or he's going to start as well, which would be just fantastic to see Pogba, Bruno and Van de Beek. I'm not sure if that midfield would work, but you know, it'll be a laugh. As well with Greenwood coming into the team, bursting onto the scene last season, he played so well. Martial really hitting form. Rashford, sorry. He's dropped down a bit of form, but I still think he's a great player and hopefully he will find his form coming into the new year. Our defence only conceding 36 goals last season. You know, we've got a solid defence with Dean Henderson now hopefully playing the nets instead of De Gea. We should also cut out a few more goals from silly errors. As well as that on the horizon, we could be seeing Jadon Sancho, Sergio Reguilón, Sergio Reguilón, and possibly Thiago Alcantara, which would be a fantastic signing to bring in. You know, if these signings are made, it could be possible that we may be even to sneak in the top 2 or maybe even win the league. Can you imagine the scenes if we won the league? I wouldn't be able to sleep for a decade, man. I'd just have to be replying to people on Twitter all the time. And then 2nd place, Liverpool, just missing out on retaining the title. I think they will come 2nd because I can't see them having the same hunger. Their defence today was all over the place. Look, had no organisation at all. Van Dijk was terrible. But obviously they're still going to score so many goals. If they do manage to bring in Thiago, that midfield will be so much better. I think Naby Keita's a great player and he's going to be one to watch this year, as well as Takumi Minamino. I hope I said that right. He's obviously playing well too. You know, and it's Liverpool. They have one of the best teams in the world. So I think they're going to push City again. I hope Man United push them as well, maybe, hopefully, I'm not sure. And then obviously, Man City in number 1. I don't really mind City winning the league because it's sort of doesn't mean anything. You know, anyone can spend $1 billion on a team and win a league. You know, I could be manager of that team and win the league, and I'm an idiot. I'm genuinely stupid. It's actually kind of funny sometimes. But yes, that is how I think the league will end. I'm pointing to my computer. Hopefully you're seeing them on the graphics now. That will be it for my prediction video for the Premier League. Yep, Premier League, that's it. I'll probably react to these whenever the league's done. I've saved that all, so I'm not going to change it. You've got this video for proof. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. The support recently has been good. I would love if you could share with some of your friends. Try and get some more views because it's been a bit dry recently, and I'm probably going to have to go for a clout chasing type of video after this. Goodbye!